like my podcast the other day.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Kerryn, for jumping on here and joining me. Just have a bit of a chat about your experience in the program and obviously where things were before we started working together, because you've made some extremely good progress, especially from the start of this year, which I'm so excited to see. So I'd love to just hear about yourself and your business and things before, we started working together. What was it like before we worked together? Tell me a bit about your business.
Well, it was definitely flatlining, I would say. It wasn't, I think I'd lost a bit of motivation and just didn't feel like I was getting too much payback for all the time and effort that I was putting in. You kind of do, you have all the hats on, don't you, when you have your own online business. So I just felt like I needed a good, not a kick up the butt. I feel like I'm fairly good at self-motivating, but I just was lacking a bit of direction. So I feel like the chats that we had one-on-one, especially in your knowledge around Facebook ads, I kind of felt like I'd had an agency run them before, and I knew I needed to know I was having good returns on my ads, but I didn't really understand what that was all about. So your knowledge around that was really pivotal to get that bit of momentum going and just spark my enthusiasm again around, right, okay, we could have another turn at growing. And it's good. You can't grow all the time. I get a bit knackered, but sometimes when you have a big plateau, it's really hard to get yourself out of the seat and get at it again.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's like I often say that it is quite isolating being a business owner, even online business owner, that you have access to the world, but it's so easy to get up, wrapped up in your own head and your kind of day-to-days. And so
it's real easy to compare too, like against other people in your industry, but you don't actually know. They might look successful online, but their success might be nothing compared to yours. Yeah, it's a funny game because everybody's like, we're all in ecom, but there's so many different niches within ecom. It's really hard to find even someone that's at your level in your industry doing the same thing to bounce ideas off. And I found lots of people I haven't found many people that were as transparent as what you've been. Like, it's been amazing to see, like, you're just amazing at showing your own business stats, and you're kind of like, holy shit, if that's achievable for your small team, you're only just across the ditch in Aussie, it's like totally achievable for anybody else if they're willing to put the balls on the line, pretty much.
Yeah, 100%. I absolutely agree. And that's exactly, why we are so transparent. I mean, there's nothing to hide. I think putting things in perspective and simplifying things is what I just really aim to achieve, because it was a simple thing for us when we started from our kitchen bench to scale sort of where we are now. And that's exactly what I try and adopt, to just get rid of all that noise of everybody in Facebook groups and everyone online, all these gurus that you see. You think, what's their magic sauce? When my aim is
there
to
isn't
really
one.
Break it down and say, well, look, this is what you just need to focus on. These are the fundamentals. This is what you do consistently. And this is what normal looks like. Like we just spoke about, a client in the program before who went from 30K in Feb to 60K in March. It was a very simple thing that was pulled, the lever, that anybody can really do when they're ready to at any point in time. You just got to have, I guess, the support and confidence behind it, and also backed by the data, which, we've spoken about as well.
And I think I've really grown a lot in the last 6 months with tracking my stats, knowing when things are going well, knowing when things are not going so well, and what to do. It's been really great to have your vision, and also your like, I wouldn't do that. Like, it's sometimes you can listen to the cows come home about what went right for people, but people saying, nah, I wouldn't do that. Like, what didn't go right is probably more pivotal sometimes to know where to go to next. And that's been really great, just to track my stats, know where to find them, especially within the ads manager because that's
Yeah.
I think they make it difficult for a reason. They're like, don't want you to know. But yeah, that's been amazing. And I've made we set up all the columns in the ads manager for us to understand it a bit better. And I've made my own, just so got my own view of it. And I just feel so confident now going every Monday, do my stats, see if my sales target from the week before was what I was after, was my conversion good, how's my AOV, all these sorts of things. 6 months ago, I was kind of I've heard of them, but didn't really understand what impact each of them had. And if you can, if you can get those under your belt and then do some good paid marketing and stuff, it's a great recipe.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Where a lot of people feel stuck and get anxious about why they're not doing better. I mean, we've all sort of felt that is a lack of clarity and knowledge and understanding of specifically where things are going wrong. So firstly, the awareness, secondly, the identify of where it is, and thirdly, obviously the action plan, behind that rectification. So that's definitely what I guess knowledge and experience and everything we try and bring to the table, of course, within the community. So
and you say lots, we often have amazing ideas, and you're always just do it. You'll never know, you're the best one to test. Just get
100%.
started and you'll see if it was worth it or not. If you've got the confidence to track your stats, if you try new new ad, new campaign, if it's working, keep going. If it's not, then stop. Because I think sometimes as an entrepreneur, we think that we're going to do things, and we kind of think that everyone's holding us accountable. And you think, oh my God, I've said I'm going to do this, so now I've got to see it out for the whole year. And the first month it was a complete fail. No one actually gives a crap if you stop after that first month because it was a fail. But I think we put so much pressure on ourselves that it has to be perfect.
I completely agree. Yeah. And that's a lot of advice is around obviously data and feedback and everything like that. And if we don't have that because we haven't acted, we can't know if it's ever going to work. So, what I guess I try and teach you again with the experience is we hypothesize about what the pros and cons, best and worst outcomes are, but we can hypothesize, as you say, until the cows come home. It's what the market is going to tell us whether they receive it or not. There's never, ever anything as failure. It's feedback or a great success. And you kind of iterate on that success, no matter what that is. And you're right. I think that's a big problem that e-com brands have, entrepreneurs have, is they get so stuck in their own head. A lot of them are perfectionists, and that causes them not to act, And so that's where people get completely stuck. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the program and, what you've found to be the most beneficial elements, whether it's the community or the course content, or what have you found?
I found the blueprint, your must-haves pretty much. That was really pivotal. I was like, okay. So and at this top, it was great website. That was sometimes, because we do get so stuck in that perfectionism, we're forever, adding more and more and more to our website. And I was like, right, I've got to take so much away. I just need to make it easy as possible. So it was simple things above the fold, optimized for mobile. And I think my website was pretty awesome, but it was a bit full on was easy for me, but not easy for someone new and fresh learning. If you never knew how to knit or crochet, going to the website, clicking the menu would be quite overwhelming. So peeled that right back, and I really enjoyed just following through your steps on that. On the must-haves, the checklist for your 7-figure. And just setting up the email flows, and then your organic initiatives first, then your paid initiatives. And I really enjoyed, and I'm a bit of a list ticker. Sometimes I write the list, and then even after I've done the thing. So I reckon that was amazing.
Awesome. I'm super glad about
in
that.
The group chats, it was cool. If you were a bit confused about what even your email flows and things like that, it was great to look inside your Klaviyo or somebody else's and watch them set theirs up and just see some stats before you'd set yours up on why you should. And yeah, it was great to see other people's data and successes, and then like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Surely
100%. 100%. It just gives complete confidence to be able to, when you're looking over the shoulder of somebody, especially, sharing people within the community as well. They're very transparent as well, which is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
And
because lots of things don't cost you too much money, but they do cost you a lot of your time to set it up.
Yeah.
So it's great to have a look in first on a real life scenario.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, in real time, exactly. And like, even on sort of today's group call, we were going through somebody's past campaign. What were the lessons from it? What will we change? And basically within the space of an hour on the call, they had completely changed it. We analyzed it again, said, yep, that's good to go for the next one, which is happening next week. So it's all that collaboration is super important, and taking all the learnings from not just your data, but everyone else's data as well it just expedites the
and then
progress.
I think you have you have a really amazing drive to succeed, to show the other members in the group chat, like, right, I've set this up, now look at it. Like, it's 30% of my revenue is coming from my email flow alone.
Yes.
And then that's real inspirational for people that have just come into the group.
Exactly, 100%. And someone mentioned to me the other day, they said, like, the real power of the group, which I've worked so hard and certainly believe in everybody in there supporting each other, is that there's actually no egos within the group. So anywhere that anybody is succeeding, we all of course support them, but they're more saying, well, how can I help everybody else through their success? And as you say, it's more motivational, and you understand that there's no literal magic behind it. It's the steps and following the process, and you will get there too. You're just at your stage right now. And I think that that's the most powerful thing about being with people in that environment. And that's what people are, sort of really finding, which is, super important. I mean, that you can go and message someone in the community at any time and they'll come back with you as much help as possible, which is, really, really special.
Yeah. And I think the format that the group is, it allows people to go from learner to leader on different topics, or maybe all topics, real quickly. Like, all of a sudden you're like, hey, I set this up and it's doing really well. And it sucks being the learner all the time. Like, if you feel like people are above you, if you get the chance to be above somebody else, it just sort of launches you into another space, and you might not have all your ducks in a row, but you get the confidence to work on something else. And
that's a really great point. I like the way you put that. And it kind of makes you appreciate how far you've come as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because often we're always looking forward. And if you can sort of have that leader mentality, then you're like,
those people that are just starting sort of show you where you were at not long ago. You're like, oh man, I really have like come a long way.
Yeah. And I know, you've crushed that in so many aspects, being the email marketing and the Facebook ads now. And it's really building for you. I think you're at a really great building stage. And as we spoke about, we're looking to scale the ads soon. So that's super exciting. But I mean, just as a bit of a final question, like, if you think about where you were before we started working together, that kind of position, that mindset, that mentality, that business position, like, what would you sort of say to people, I guess, at that stage where you were moving forwards, I guess, looking at, where they potentially want to take their businesses?
For me, I found like, it's at the beginning when I was looking to join, it was for me at the time, it was a huge investment, but because I invested it, I was invested. If you don't put your money on the line, you kind of just waddle about in the shallows. But because you had paid it, because I'd put that money in for me, I was like, right, I've got to make this worth it. So I think that, and when you shift that sort of mindset, or that block, break that ceiling a wee bit, you're like, right, if I did that for that, then why do I not do that for my Facebook ads? Because that bit of money I've invested there has got me from that level to that level. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just been a massive shift in what I believe I can achieve from, because everybody has little blocks and why they shouldn't, and yeah, not talk yourself down, but I kind of think, who am I from a small town in New Zealand to be doing what I hope to do? But why not?
Yeah.
Like, if not me, then it's going to be someone else. So I'm going to make it me.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's been the biggest thing, is learning to invest in me. Yeah, just choosing to put yourself first. But like going to a new retail location, if it wasn't me investing in that spot, somebody else is going to fill it, and I'd be gutted forever.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. And, you know, myself, it's vested in programs before, you know, up to 30, 40, 50 grand. It's like that physical act of you taking responsibility for is not just, I better get my value for money out. It's not about that. It's just a completely different mindset shift of it becoming inevitable that you will, because you're so committed to it. Like it's a sign of commitment. And we know, like, if we get something for free, if we get a resource for free from somewhere, we're not going to take it as seriously as if we've paid 10 grand for it, you know?
And I think it makes you put more value on what you're selling as well. You're like, right, if I've invested this much in growing my business, then I'm going to make sure that my business is worth something to grow. Even, like to your customers and everything. It just changes your whole vocabulary and the way you put yourself forward. You know, people are like, oh, well, how much is this? And you change how, I know with my customers, if they want to learn to knit and they just get a ball of wool and a set of needles, they'll never finish it. But if you talk to them about, you know, the benefits of this yarn versus that yarn, and they invest in something, it's a highly valuable bag of wool that they want to finish because they've invested in it. Basically, it's the same sort of thing, just different levels. And yeah,
100%. I think that's one thing that we really try and instill in the community is the service that you're providing to the community. Like everybody within the program, and I don't invite people into the program if they're selling, you know, drop shipping widgets or whatever it is. It's only got to be something that actually does service to your customers. And so that's the mindset and mentality that we have to have as business owners to succeed and to sell genuinely, is to say, I'm doing you a favor by providing this to you, basically. And so, for you, it's not just like, this is a bag of wool. It's like, look, could be your grandson's, you know, sweater or whatever it might be. Like it's got that meaning.
Like coming home from the hospital blanket, like people, it's not just a knitted blanket. It's like a piece of your legacy, really. Like, when you're gone, the blanket will still be there and it'll be passed down. It's not just a blanket. It's not just knitting. It's a way to live. It's a legacy to leave. No,
I love that analogy. Thanks for sharing that. Well, thanks so much for sharing your insights. I really appreciate it. And I've loved having you in the community, and we'll continue to do so and keep seeing you succeed and kick goals. And, you know, we're not far off a 20K month, hopefully by the end of this month. So thanks for sharing all that. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Awesome.